Hello, everybody. I'm Jesus,
And I'm Andre.
and welcome back to another episode of the Let's Go to the Movies podcast. We have our reoccurring guest today. Actually, say hi.
Hello, I'm David.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So this week we're finishing up kind of the same category that we had David on for the first time, which is like cheesy 90s superhero movies, but that's not what we're going to name this episode. It's going to be named
A Superhero Period Piece.
Thank you, Craig. But yeah, so this week it's a very odd Disney movie that came out in 1991. It's called The Rocketeer. It's set in the 1930s, and it is like an origin story for this Iron Man ripoff, but maybe not a ripoff because we don't know when it came out initially. Whatever, we're not going to talk about that. But very, very strange. And so I guess what we'll do first of all is kind of go around the table and get our initial thoughts, and then we'll go into our ratings of it for the week. So David, start us off if you want to.
Sure. It's been a hot minute since we all watched this movie because we watched it all the way at the beginning.
Yeah, a little bit.
When you guys
we
started
prepared
the
it months ago.
podcast. But what I remember from it was it's super cheesy. It's very 90s, like very early 90s. And I don't want to. I shouldn't get into spoilers, so I'll save that for later. But I honestly, I really, I quite enjoyed the cheesiness of it, and I thought it was quite of a ridiculous movie. Maybe not the best, but I think it's a pretty,
But definitely
it's a
not
pretty.
the worst, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I said not the best, but definitely not the worst.
Exactly, yeah. And it's one that you'd put on in the background and let the kids watch while you make dinner or something. And it's not
Or
that bad.
you're very confused as you're watching it with the kids.
Yeah.
You know?
With an ugly
Not
helmet.
expecting our audience to have children, but
Yeah. Hey, if you have kids or you are a child, watch
I am
this
sorry.
movie. I'm sorry.
oh no. Jesus, what about you though?
I, for one, quite like the movie. It's
Mhm.
got that. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't actually know it was made in the 90s until I saw like the thing, like the way that it's filmed and the quality of everything is actually pretty high. Like surprisingly, I'm pretty sure it's because like it's a Disney movie, and you know how Disney always has like the big budget movies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But I was actually quite surprised to find out that it was made in the 90s. It definitely was cheesy. It's got that 90 flair to it, right? But I'd put it out there with the ranks of like the Ghostbusters, you know, like with that. It's
Really?
it's cheesy in a way that like it's not bad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
Understandable. Yeah, for me personally, it was kind of, I didn't know what to expect from it because I just always pictured the poster of it looks like the Iron Man poster for Iron Man 1, but just with
Yeah,
the Rocketeer's characters. So I was expecting the exact same type of thing, but then the movie opens up, you're set in 1930 whatever, and it's just threw me for a loop immediately.
1930.
And that I as soon as I saw it was set in 1938 Los
yeah,
Angeles,
something like that. Yeah, and
I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And then it just became cheesier and cheesier, which just made me love it more.
what
The
I
green
yeah.
screen effects of the Rocketeer flying around just put the cherry on top. Is overall very goofy experience for like, I don't know, a night with your friends, or if you're a parent for some reason listening to this podcast and you want to show it to your kids, go ahead, you'll find something to take from it.
There was one good stunt too on the plane. Like I watched a clip to refresh myself, but like the Rocketeer, he's like on this like breaking down plane, and then he falls off, but it's real. Like he actually like jumps.
Oh,
At least it
Really?
looks real, but like
Okay, I was about to say like what?
like it looks like a stuntman, and then a helicopter filming him from above.
okay, that's insane. Okay, we'll get into the more details a little bit later, and then whatever tangents we end up going on. But to start us off, as usual, I'm going to look at the ratings really quick. On Rotten Tomatoes, it gave it a 66%, and IMDb gave it a 6.5. I'll just start us off. I think that's good. I think that's exactly where it should sit.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I would agree. And then, if anything, maybe a little lower.
A little bit.
I think a
Honestly,
solid 6.
When it comes to story, yeah.
A little bit lower specifically because of the big twist that happens with who the villain actually is.
I
Oh
think
my
that's
God.
so funny. Like without
That needs to be
they like shove in the
later.
propaganda and stuff.
It needs to like be. The movie needs to take it down a peg because there was no reason for that to be in there.
I don't
They're
know when
like, excuse me? Like what?
I don't know when we get into spoilers, but
Who knows? Well,
Right
we'll
now.
that is something.
we'll just go off with it.
Okay.
Kind of like, yeah, to give like a brief synopsis if we already haven't done that, honestly. It's this stunt pilot who is getting ready for this huge, I guess, race that they're doing. And
Yeah.
his team that was like, or him and his mentor type father figure person who's like the engineer, we're getting ready to do a test run. The plane crashes. These bad guys show up because they shot the plane down. There's this huge chase with like the FBI or something close to the FBI from 1938, and these bad guys drop off the Rocketeer suit, and so the stunt pilot and the engineer find it, and they discover that it's like a jetpack that can fly them around, and so they start doing stunt tricks at these piloting shows and these stunt airplane events. That's not the word for it. I don't know.
Air shows.
Air show. There you go. Yeah, air shows. And so he starts doing stunts at air shows and everything. Then there's it's revealed that there's this famous actor who's played by Timothy Dalton, which obviously if you have an English villain in a movie, you have to have Timothy Dalton.
You gotta have James Bond.
Exactly, yeah. And Hot Fuzz. He was like the
Yes.
main bad guy in Hot Fuzz as well. So it's like you instantly like think, oh, this guy's not gonna play a good person. And yeah, so he like really pulls it off. He's like this big famous actor, and so it's like it really feels like felt like it was going into like the Red Scare route of like the 1950s, like with communism, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, like the Hollywood is infiltrated by communists, but it's far worse.
Yeah.
Hollywood is infiltrated by something far worse in this movie. And I don't know if we're allowed to say the word without getting completely removed from our platforms.
I mean, I think we're allowed. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's a bit that Eddie Burback does where he whispers all the words that are like, could get him in trouble. So, okay, forget it. We'll do the spoiler right away. It's not even a spoiler because it shouldn't have been in the movie. They shouldn't have written it that way.
Nope.
The bad guys are Nazis.
James Bond is a Nazi.
The English guy is a Nazi. He's a hidden spy for the Nazi regime. And they bring this out of nowhere. The Rocketeer's love interest in the movie. I'm just gonna look up the character names just so
Jenny.
we at least. Sorry, what? Penny?
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
J.
Of course, yeah. Jenny basically gets into like I think it's the lair of Timothy Dalton's lair.
Quote
Yeah,
unquote.
his
It's his mansion, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a back room in the mansion, and she picks up a book that has like the Iron Eagle or like the whatever bird symbol that
Fascist regime.
have at the time. And as soon as she picks that up, she like opens it up, and there's just stamps of a
Fascist symbol.
like and stuff, and it just flips the whole script because we know from like the beginning of the movie that Timothy Dalton's bad.
Yeah.
But like,
Basically.
not that. We didn't expect that though.
Not
Like,
that bad. So this just boosted it up even worse.
like he's a Disney villain. What?
Yeah. Okay.
Disney.
Yeah. Like a couple of things with that is like, I thought it was so funny when she found his like hidden lair behind his bookshelf, and then all of a sudden on the radio you just hear, wait, what's the character's name? What's the guy's name? Neville. His name's
forgot.
Neville.
Yeah, Neville.
They're like, Neville, are you there? Like, we have news. Do you have news? Like, they're just like talking in the most like American German accents ever. Like, they didn't get real German people for this.
It's so bad. But like the twist, as soon as you hear that accent, you're just like, oh no, because like you realize, oh, this is set in 1938.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh no.
You wanna know
Because
what
this
though?
movie is not hinted at all until that point. It honestly, I'll say like the setting of it, I really loved how it was set up. Like it really felt nice and quaint for like 1938 Los Angeles setting for the movie. It felt like a good old, like, I don't know, like a nice little family movie.
Yeah. And
then it just situates you historically in what that time was in the rest of the world with having Nazis in it, and it's just threw me off completely. Like we've talked about before, it's I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm gonna be honest. It made the movie for me simply because like it made it more interesting. And
Really?
you know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna disagree with the Rocketeer here. Like Nazis are bad, you know, like. And
they
if they're
are.
gonna be anybody in a movie, they got to be the villain. So you know what, I give them props.
Hey, we're the first to say that Nazis are bad.
We are the first to say it. Yeah.
You know. Hey, they are the worst of the worst. Like, no, we don't trust them at all. Nobody should ever. And you know, you guys should follow suit. You know, these are very, very new takes that haven't been told before.
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna have to cut that out. I think that's like a really sensitive. I don't know. But oh my god, it's insane.
What I feel like they're doing with the movie is like they're trying to get Iron Man, like the superhero from Iron Man, and like the cool technology, and then they're putting it in like 1938, and they're trying to mix in Indiana Jones at the same time. Like that's what it feels like they're doing.
That's like a retrofuturism sort of thing.
Yeah, where it's like, look at our hero. He's fighting Nazis. And it's like Captain America. Speaking of which, same director.
No. Are you serious?
Really?
Wait,
I
like
remember.
the first Captain America movie?
First Captain America movie. I just remembered. Joe Johnston. Yep.
What's up with him and making...
And Raiders of the
superhero
Lost
movie?
Ark. Are you kidding?
What?
Wait, he worked on Raiders of the Lost Ark?
He used visual effects.
Okay.
Joe.
Well, I mean, good visual effects guy. Good job.
Really good visual effects. Especially Raiders of the Lost Ark, the final scene. Ooh. Not well, the final, like the climactic scene.
Ew. You.
He also directed Honey, I Shrunk the
cool.
Kids.
He directed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids too.
Okay, now it's going a little downhill.
He's directing a new Chronicles of Narnia movie. There's gonna be another one. What is happening?
We're learning a bunch of new stuff. I'm just looking into very quickly because it was a comic book, The Rocketeer, and it says The Rocketeer's first adventure appeared in 1982. So only that's not too long before the movie came out. That's like 9 years.
Yeah.
So they really didn't give time for like the whole lore to get set in stone, kind of like what they did with all the Marvel films.
That's what they did with Snowpiercer.
Oh, that's true.
And
Yeah,
Batman's been with comics and...
You gotta do an episode on that, actually.
Snowpiercer, that'd be a great episode.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one before.
You should.
It's Bong Joon-ho, the guy that made Parasite.
cool.
It's a fantastic
That was
movie.
crazy.
Yeah, and Okja, I think it's called.
And Okja.
I've always wanted to watch it. I've always been like, yo, this movie looks sick. I like the premise. But then it's like one of those things where it's like you kind of forget. And then when you remember, it's like, but I'm busy.
What's really funny is this Hollywood, I always like this Hollywood good boy, right? Yeah, what's his name? Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Plays Captain America. You're always so used to seeing him as like this, like you always see him as like the figure to look up to and everything goes like that. And he's always like such a good person, but in the movie he just flips it on his head. And I don't know, something about hearing Chris Evans say the F word is hilarious.
Same thing in
Oh.
Knives Out. It's just like a flip of the script. He's a completely different character in that one as well.
He is really good in those situations though. But about the movie.
Yeah, about the
I was gonna say,
Rocketeer.
I've
That's
been
the
meaning to say
Rocketeer.
for a while. The entire movie seemed like like what you read about in history books about those propaganda movies. That's like a regular kids movie, but they shove in some communist stuff
or anti-communist stuff.
Yeah, anti, yeah,
Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Basically.
so true though. It does. It could really suit that if like the effects were viable in like 1938. They would
Yeah.
not necessarily 38, but like as the war was waging on, I would definitely see the Rocketeer having like a boost in popularity if it was existing.
I could see this movie come out when Captain America was still skinny.
Yeah, there you go.
I find it interesting. Did the Rocketeer have like a background in fighting Nazis?
I'm checking, and I
Because-
see nothing about it.
Then that's so strange because they're really going for Captain America there, or Indiana Jones or whatever. Because like Captain America, the comic existed during those times, right? And that's why he was
made.
fighting them.
Yeah,
That's why he was made. Like,
That's
it's
why
Captain America.
Marvel-
This is more thing.
the
Yeah.
original Marvel properties showed up at that period.
Yeah, so it's so strange that they're like, you want to know what? You want to know what'll make this movie? These guys.
Yeah, I'm like looking into it. I don't want to look up the Rocketeer and Nazis because I don't know what that'll show up. I don't know
You'll
what
get put
like,
on a watch list.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. That's why you should use NordVPN. This episode. No, we make that joke every week. We're not sponsored yet.
It's
You
still
will-
funny.
It's still good.
hold
Imagine.
on. I will look this up though. Yeah, everything. I looked up the Rocketeer's relation to Nazis, and the only thing that's coming up is the movie.
Wow.
So
So what was the comic book about then? Like, did they? What I'm curious is if they like shoved that aspect into the movie, or if that was the comic book.
it.
And is it serious, or is it just?
I'll read it to you. It like the premise is very much the opening of the movie. There's obviously probably not a lot
Yeah.
of these because it came out the movie came 9 years after, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of publications. I'm trying to check if they have like an end date for it.
I just Googled Rocketeer comics plot, and and then underneath, you know, when Google is like, people also ask these questions.
Yeah.
People also ask, is the Rocketeer a true story?
Oh,
Let's
no.
check. Although the movie is fiction, a person is depicted in a real person is depicted in the film. The writers using the original comic book material based the Neville Sinclair character on Hollywood swashbuckling hero Errol Flynn, who in real life was thought to be a Nazi spy. What?
Oh my god, hold on. Errol Flynn. Oh my god, wait, I think I know this guy. Oh my
What?
goodness, I studied one of his movies in a class I took last year. Are you serious? Errol
Yo!
Flynn. He's literally he was basically like a pirate-esque type actor for like movies. Like he was in a movie called The Seahawk that was huge, where he
And, like,
played
what era?
swashbuckler.
Like 38, 40s.
Yeah, and he
No
also was in The Adventures of Robin Hood, like the original one from 1938 as well.
He played
Oh my
Robin
God.
Hood.
He played Robin Hood.
Damn.
Hey.
Very strangely, I don't know if that's a real photo of him, because if it is, that's not Errol Flynn. That's Timothy Dalton. Are you kidding me?
Wait, what?
That's ridiculous. Hold on, I'll drop this into the Discord chat and I'll put it in the
Okay.
video part of the podcast. Speaking of the video part of the podcast, you can find us on YouTube and on Spotify.
Yeah, the LGTTM
Shameless.
podcast.
That was a shameless plug. Sorry.
You need to listen on the go. Why don't you head over to Spotify? But hey, if you're here and you're hanging out online, just open up YouTube, and then you can see the cool pictures that we look at.
Exactly. I just dropped it in. I think that this is an actual photo of Errol Flynn, but that just
Okay.
looks like Timothy Dalton.
Wait, okay, hold
That's
on.
crazy.
Kevin Kline as Errol Flynn
Oh,
in
is
the
that
last
Kevin Kline?
Robin Hood.
Is that just a photo of Kevin Kline?
I think.
Oh,
Wait,
That
no,
sucks.
not yours. This one is. This one is.
Hey, what?
Hold on, let's see.
This is so confusing. There's so many
Wait,
versions.
Wait,
What?
what? I'm confused now.
That's
Are they the same
what?
person or are they not?
I think that
doesn't make
he
sense.
plays him in a like based on true story movie.
They look all these men look the same.
Dude,
All
hell
these
is
white
up?
dudes look the same.
All these, not even kidding. If you are watching
They
on
do.
YouTube, like, please take a look at this. This is Timothy
put in
Dalton.
the comments that they look the same. Agree with us, please.
This is Timothy Dalton. This is so the second what you sent was that's Kevin Kline.
That's Kevin Kline as Errol Flynn in The Last of Robin Hood. Let me look up what that is.
Okay, and then the top one is allegedly Errol Flynn.
Legend. Yeah.
Because I can't trust Google Images. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
And I'm not gonna spend too much time looking up photos of Errol Flynn.
Yeah, okay, so Kevin Kline played him in a movie, I believe, called The Last of Robin Hood in 2013. Movie star Errol Flynn, played by Kevin Kline, has a scandalous May-December affair with a 15-year-old Scarlett Beverly
Oh,
Adland.
don't like that.
Dakota Fanning plays the 15-year-old. That's so
Oh.
fun. Yikes. Okay, it has a 5.7 on IMDb, so...
What's the name of the movie again?
The Last of Robin Hood.
The Last. Okay, I'm gonna look up him in that
Maybe-
movie again just to see, because that does look like an actual photo of Errol Flynn.
I think that
So-
that's actually a picture of Errol Flynn, but
Oh, it is.
I think so. This is all confusing.
This doesn't make
I think
sense.
that is Errol Flynn. That is for sure
Okay.
Errol Flynn.
This is. Oh my
Kevin
god.
Kline.
Okay, whoa. This is still tripping me up. Okay, so this is actually Kevin Kline as Errol
Yeah.
Flynn, but still, like, look at the
Yeah.
first photo and look at this one.
I'm still confused.
So, audience listening at home, long story short, all these white guys playing the same guy are looking the same. This role was typecast.
They are like they're clones, probably.
Literally. And the Rocketeer mask looks like them too. No, kidding.
So, I'm not a fan of the Rocketeer costume at all. It does not look
Me either.
good.
I like his
Are you
jacket.
guys serious?
That's
Are you
it.
slandering this mask right now?
Yeah.
It was made out of a radio.
Man, I love that mask. It's so unpractical, and that's why I love it.
I think
It
looks
is. It
cooler
reminds you
in
of the
the
Mark
comics.
One. It reminds you of the Mark One armor. From,
Literally, like, let's just
Yeah.
take a look at this.
Iron
People. I
Man.
just sent it in the Discord. If you're
Okay.
just an audio listener on Spotify, oops.
I really like the like this metro style, like the whole style that they go for in the movie posters and stuff like that. What's it called?
Oh, I know what you
Deco.
mean.
What's it called? Like Deco Punk, something like that.
I gotta say, I think his helmet looks better in the comic.
Yeah, it does look cooler. It's like much more interesting, like animated, and also like looking at least the Wikipedia image for the Rocketeer Adventures, like the comic book. Even the jetpack just looks cooler too.
Yeah.
Everything about the costume design is a little bit better, but don't you guys dare slander that mask. The aerodynamic strip on the top of the mask that doesn't need to be there.
That little thing.
Ooh.
No,
Just
that had a
beautiful.
plot point in the movie.
Yeah,
It was
to
his
steer,
turn.
bro.
It was to steer the
Yeah,
the
it was to
rocket.
steer.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's what he
Okay.
said.
So for people that are listening, just the audio version of the podcast, basically it's an Iron Man mask with
Made a
a dorsal fin,
yeah.
and the dorsal fin steers the jetpack.
It does. It does.
Yeah, he
But the
bent.
dorsal fin is like, it's like, it just
Because
stays in one
remember-
spot. It doesn't move.
Yeah. He turns.
He
his
moves
head.
his head. He steers with his head.
Oh,
Yeah, because you remember that one scene whenever he was flying up, right? And then he started like flying around and stuff, and he was like, "Yo, I can't control this junk," right?
yeah.
Afterwards, that's what the fin on his helmet was for. Helps him steer.
He's just Captain's so mad at you. He's He's like, that's what it's for.
It's for, dude.
Damn, I'm
Jeez.
sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. But okay.
That's so funny though. It makes him look kind of goofy.
Yeah, it does. Okay. So,
Did you just slander the mask?
did you? Yeah, you guys did. Okay, but we're over it. We're not gonna bring it up again. If we do bring it up again, this episode's gonna be cut short. Okay.
Again, like,
Just kidding, the episode isn't actually done. We just had another audio malfunction. Good God, this happens quite a lot. Back to the show.
All right. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties there.
Anyway.
Craig just told you about
Yeah.
it. I'm talking to the viewers, by the way, guys. Don't worry. Yeah. So
it's going insane again.
yeah. So to get back to the this whatever the hell movie it is we're talking about, the one
Yeah,
thing
we're talking about the mask.
the what?
The mask.
We're not bringing up the mask again.
With Jim Carrey.
Oh, the mask.
That's a good
Oh.
movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
You're talking about-
Saved.
you're talking
Saved.
about the helmet. I was like, oh no, what did I just say?
Anyways, yeah, as you're saying.
Oh yeah, the one thing that I mean, can't really blame it. It's a superhero origin movie. They gotta like skip over some stuff. How did the Rocketeer learn how to use that jetpack so fast? It's an unknown like technology. And oh wait, sorry, his name is Cliff Secord. That's the name of the Rocketeer.
I'll tell you why he learned so
Oh.
fast. Because he flies airplanes.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
You're
a
right.
stunt pilot, dog.
And yeah,
Easy
piloting
peasy,
a plane is
bro.
the same as like piloting
I
a
was-
jetpack.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 100% carries over all of the technicalities of it,
Any type of
especially now that you steer with your head.
oh yeah.
That's
Any type of aircraft, you would be if you fly any kind of aircraft, even a Zeppelin. That's a hint to later in the
Mhm.
episode.
You can drive a car. You could probably fly a jetpack.
if you
can
can
ride a
drive a
bike.
car, if you can drive a big wheel, if you're 3 years old, you can ride this jetpack
You can ride a big one.
with no difficulties at all. So also
yeah, big wheel, you're good. Small wheel, not so.
yeah, it has to be a big wheel. If you have one small
Yeah.
wheel, you're screwed. You can't fly this jetpack. So to the parents out there listening, buy your kids a jetpack. This episode is sponsored by jetpack.com.
Their slogan
Is that a
is
thing?
I don't know.
the slogan is "We were the Rocketeer all along. The real Rocketeer was the
It's-
friendship we made along the way."
no, the real Rocketeer was the Rocketeer we made along the way.
The real Rocketeer was the jetpacks that we learned to fly with.
The real Rocketeer were the Nazis that we fought along the way.
Damn, that's deep.
It's so
That's
deep.
deep.
Hashtag deep.
She said.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag deep.
Oh, there's yeah, this movie though, it's just absurd because there's only one instance where the Rocketeer really kind of saves the day, and it's when it's at the air show and one of the pilots, his plane goes haywire, and so the Rocketeer goes, sorry, Cliff, he's not the Rocketeer yet. He goes in the suit and he flies and he saves this pilot. Like
That poor dude.
that poor dude, he was just trying to put on an air show and he started.
Yeah. He was the clown, right?
Yeah, he was the clown.
He took over because Cliff was late, so he didn't want Cliff to get fired, so he took over. the
Exactly,
plane,
because the plane had to fly.
Stupid, dumb, goofy, bro.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
because Cliff's plane had to
He's never
fly,
ridden a big wheel in his life.
literally.
Yeah, he's never ridden a big wheels.
That obviously that clown couldn't ride a big wheel. The clown couldn't fly a Zeppelin, so
He would not be able to operate that jetpack.
couldn't operate the jetpack or that biplane.
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic expectations
Let's knock that score down to a 4.
for the movie.
Yeah, for the movie, it's now a 4. Unrealistic.
4% on Rotten Tomatoes or a 4 out of 10?
Okay, I was gonna say
Yeah,
4 out of
yeah,
10,
4
but
out of
let's go
100.
Put it to a
4%.
4%. That's oh no, that's the worst score we've done.
Unrealistic.
Oh man, but yeah, it's so yeah, we get that scene. The Rocketeer saves this one pilot, and suddenly he just gets all this praise. He never does anything else, like in like the public eye. He like destroys a dining hall.
Yeah.
And
I've done
that's
that
it.
before.
What?
Yeah. And he's kind of a dick to his girlfriend.
Kind of, yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
A little bit.
Why'd you do that?
Also, why is she's like weirdly sexualized in the movie?
Yeah, there was like a
What do you expect?
shot of her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
1991, women were over sexualized in media, as they still are, unfortunately. It's really fucking stupid. Sorry, Mom, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to swear on the podcast.
I did. Fuck.
No, my mom's gonna listen to this episode, David.
He's like, well, tell your mom. No,
Whoa.
Well, tell your
Whoa. No, please don't.
well tell your mom she's a decent human being and has good values.
Mom, I'm so sorry, okay? I know you told me you didn't want me to swear on the podcast. I won't do it again. I'm very sorry.
Like,
Anyways, yeah, he like, okay, so I'm done with that bit. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, still, yeah, it really is weird because he's like in the papers, the headline, and it feels like he's like suddenly this huge celebrity in LA, but he just did one thing, and the whole thing that had to do with like the main bad guys wasn't even. It was like a very hidden like event that occurred. It wasn't like a big battle.
there was a
LA.
zeppelin that caught fire in the sky. Like,
Okay, well,
do you think people would have seen that? Or like, was it? Wait, hold on.
The lead up was like you wouldn't like there was no hints
there was
at
no
the
hint.
Zeppelin.
It's not like
Yeah.
the Avengers. They have this huge fight in New York, and the Avengers.
Okay,
are,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
confused.
Okay.
It's like the Rocketeer. It's
Yeah.
one thing, and then all of a sudden he's already famous, and he's just doing this mission that nobody knows about. So it's really weird as an origin story, especially since they never did anything else with it. Because it hinted at a sequel at
Yeah.
the very end, because they have the blueprints
Yeah.
for the jetpack, because it got destroyed, and it's really weird. But bringing back to the hint that we had at a vehicle, and we were just talking about a Zeppelin. That is an extra. I would say it's kind of like a twist or a surprise in the plot too when they bring the Zeppelin in. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm like pulling up. I've been looking at this plot synopsis on Wikipedia. Not the best source, but who cares? Shut up if you don't like the fact I use Wikipedia.
Wikipedia's
Wikipedia has
good.
now become much more
Reputable?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
there you
said.
go. Yeah, so looking at the synopsis, so basically they're in LA. So that's the west coast of the United States.
Yeah.
And
The opposite
the-
of me.
Nazis show up in LA. Then again, it's 1938, so none of the really, 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 really awful stuff has happened yet. But still, it's Nazis. And we know what they've done because it's 1991 when the movie came out.
Yeah.
And so it's
I wouldn't say that. When did World War II start?
39, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
That's
was
like,
it?
or like there was events that led up to it, but I think declarations of war were in 1939. I'm not a history kid, I swear. I'm not like the World War II boys that
Oh,
were
yeah.
in the history club.
Started in 19. Yeah, so like not everybody was like, "Yo, these Nazis are really bad. They're doing really bad stuff. Let's go to war yet." They were like, "They're doing bad stuff, but we're not gonna do anything about it."
Yeah, they were. A lot of Europe was hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. With this Zeppelin, though, so it's a Nazi Zeppelin, and it arrived in LA. And just like thinking about that, I was like, okay, so these are obviously the big bad guys. You're telling me that they flew a Zeppelin across the continental United States from Germany. First of all, they flew across most of Western Europe from Germany, and then across the continental United States without anyone saying anything. And then they just arrived going over the Hollywood Hills.
Wasn't it disguised as something?
No,
It was
Remind me of
just
that
a
out.
regular. It was like a regular Zeppelin. Yeah, but they came down as they rose up. I think, didn't they?
What if they
Oh, maybe.
like collapsed it and then
Oh,
imploded?
that could be true. But anyway, just the idea of
Yeah.
I prefer my idea where they
Oh.
just like were very low altitude flying across the continental United
Yeah.
States and nobody
They're just flying
Yeah,
over.
like,
like
oh,
nobody
what's that?
noticed at all.
They're
It
flying
seems
over New York.
giant
It's a little
swastika
suspicious.
on a silver Zeppelin going across the sky.
Yeah.
You're supposed to whisper it.
Yeah. But like on the Wikipedia page, it says the Nazi rigid airship Luxembourg. And then in parentheses,
Rigid airship.
under the guise of a peace mission. So that answers the question. I don't know why I went on that long tangent, because we have the answer here. But under the guise of a peace mission appears overhead to evacuate Sinclair. Sinclair is the evil Englishman portrayed by Timothy Dalton. And that's just very... I mean, okay, way to like solve this huge plot hole issue of flying a Zeppelin with a huge emblem on it that represents this awful group, this awful organization.
Yeah.
And then when
Nothing like trying to extract somebody and then just putting a target right on this big inflatable object in
it's
the air.
very weird, but if you like contextualize it with like no declarations of war were made yet, then okay, it can maybe pass, but very iffy, very like they could have come up with a different,
Yeah.
I don't know, it could have been a boat. It didn't have to be a
Yeah.
Don't put anything on
or
it.
don't
Like,
put anything on it. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't have been a boat because the Rocketeer flies and boats don't fly.
Not yet they don't.
Not yet, they don't.
But as we all know, in
That's-
1940, that's when they made boats fly.
when were helicopters invented?
Helicopters? Oh, they were invented in 2015.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Before that, yeah, people only took planes.
Yeah. And who built helicopters? Aliens.
Helicopter. Oh, never mind.
First name Heli, last name Copter.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet you didn't think it was a woman, did you? That's right. It's Mrs. Helicopter.
Mrs. Helicopter. Dr. Helicopter.
Doctor, sorry.
Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick. Yeah, I remember that episode of SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
But yeah, Dr. Helicopter, she's the one that did invent the helicopter in 2015.
That's what's up.
Anything that you see in media that's made before then that has helicopters, just false propaganda made by
Yeah.
Big Helicopter.
Big helicopter.
And aliens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
aliens.
so like Apocalypse Now, the big famous scene of the helicopters flying in to Vietnam,
Die
that's
Hard
not real.
didn't even exist.
That was made in 2015. They edited in that scene.
Black Hawk Down.
Black Hawk Down, that movie
Those
doesn't
were just
exist.
birds and you didn't notice.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why it's called Black
Yeah,
Hawk.
none of that actually happened.
It's forward.
The first-
It's not called Helicopter Down.
Yeah, the fun fact, the first movie that actually had a helicopter was San Andreas with Dwayne Johnson, where he plays a helicopter pilot, because he was the first person legally allowed to fly a helicopter.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I know, it's so powerful to have this
You know,
ex-wrestler just
Yo,
fly,
that's sick, man.
you know.
thinking back to those better days, pre-pandemic, you know, it's like, it just warms me so much. And I feel like the world,
I could just
The
go down
world's
to the
healing.
local airstrip and like just, you know, buy a helicopter, and I could just go
Yeah.
home. Like,
Pretty
I missed
I
that.
miss-
bomb
those are some
diggity.
great days.
The world is healing.
It is, and so like sooner or later, we'll be able to go back to our helicopters. You know, I can't wait.
Gosh, I wish.
Oh god.
Episode ends there.
No, it doesn't end there because the helicopters. Nope, not the helicopters. The Zeppelin. Oh my goodness, we went on too long with that bit. The Zeppelin in this movie. Spoiler alert: the Zeppelin gets destroyed because Nazis are bad, and so obviously everything that they had to do in this movie has to get destroyed. So yeah, the Zeppelin crashes, and apparently, according to this movie, the Hollywood sign was Hollywood Land, and the Zeppelin specifically destroys the land part.
Pretty sure that's. I mean, like that's historically accurate. It used to be Hollywood Land.
No, I know, but are they
But-
saying that it's a Nazi
they're changing
Zeppelin that
history.
destroyed it? Is that
That's why
historical?
people were wondering if it's based on a true
Mm.
story.
The true
Because they're like, did
story.
they destroy the Hollywood Land sign? Did they destroy the land part?
Okay, hold on. Why did they get rid of land in Hollywoodland? Why is that the first thing that comes up?
My theory is earthquake or forest fire,
Oh, makes sense. Hold on, let's see.
but I have no idea. I've never looked it up. This is breaking news.
Some sort of hooligan went up there and took down the land part, and they just didn't feel like
Oh,
putting
look
it
at the
back.
Refinery 29 article. This is not sponsored by them. Okay, let's see. Hollywoodland was actually a subdivision of tract. I don't think I can read it verbatim. Damn it.
You can.
I can?
You can just quote them.
Okay, quoting. Don't you dare take this down. Hollywoodland was actually a subdivision of tract houses, and the sign was a billboard for the development. Oh. In 1949, the letter H fell over. That's not answering the question.
Wait. Oh.
Oh my god,
I was gonna say, well, they put that one
Hollywoodland.
back. Hollywoodland. You just fucking skateboard everywhere.
Oh my god.
Wrong Ollie, but you know.
Okay. Since it started as an ad, the original idea in 1949 was just to tear it down altogether. Still quoting what Refinery 29, do not take this part down of the episode. But by then it had become such a fixture that they didn't want to take it down, and the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce decided to take over maintenance and ownership. They repaired the sign, but cut the land, changing it to just Hollywood to stop it from referencing one specific housing development.
That's so lame.
You know, I think that they're just, I think that they are just, that's just false. That's just fake news, you know? I think that this is actually...
They're covering up the Nazis.
They're covering up the true story that happened in Hollywood. In Los Angeles in 1938, which was the events of Rocketeer. Yes, the comics came out in 1982, but the true story was actually 1938, and we all know that right now. And for the few people that are probably listening to this, you guys know now too. So,
I found the title of the episode that Craig will say at the beginning. It's this superhero movie was based on a true story,
perfect.
and then in brackets conspiracy.
Oh my god, David, that's way too long of a title. I've already decided that the episode is called a superhero period piece, but we will put the conspiracy in the thumbnail.
That's beautiful. That will be on our thumbnail. It will be very difficult to fit in, but it will be in the thumbnail. Perfect. Yeah, that explains a lot. So the Rocketeer really did save the day. It saved the Rocketeer by itself in 1938, stopped the initial fascist front from getting into the United States. So,
Wow.
But
at what cost?
At what cost? At the
We
cost
lost
of
land.
At the cost of the land part of
cost of
Hollywood
land.
land.
Damn it!
What's that noise? It sounds like it hurt.
No, it's okay. I just got angry. I miss land so much.
But it
Yeah.
is truly like a big historical event that can't be forgotten.
Wow.
Cliff Secord.
I did not actually know Hollywood said Hollywood.
Yeah,
land, but-
Cliff Secord. No relation to Laura Secord, the Canadian icon.
No
but
relation
Cliff
to
Secord-
Dr. Helicopter.
And no relation to Dr. Helicopter.
Yeah.
No relation to Errol Flynn. Actually, relation to Harold Flynn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watched the episode this far, just comment like Dr. Helicopter.
Wait,
like
actually,
just so we
or
can
just comment
know.
your favorite fact about Dr. Helicopter, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or
All the work.
or just the word a
What
helicopter.
are your
Dr.
guys' favorite
Helicopter
facts
and
about
stuff.
Dr. Helicopter?
That her name isn't helicopter.
Really?
Wow. She changed the name after she invented it. That's actually true fact.
Helicopter is short for helicopter.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Wow.
Yeah. Like what is it? Like Mike Pence is short
Michael
for
Pencil?
mechanical pencil.
How about
but
you,
no,
Andre?
yeah,
What's
my
your
favorite fact about
Yeah.
Dr. Helicopter personally is not a lot of people know this, but she is in fact the main shareholder of Honey. This episode is this episode is not brought to you by Honey, but Dr. Helicopter is the main shareholder of that whole company.
Yeah.
So yeah,
She named the company after her daughter, actually. Honeycopter. Yeah.
Honeycopter.
That's the new invention that she's going to come up with. It's a helicopter made entirely off of honey, or like the fuel is honey.
No, it's
And
just
that's like,
it's just a regular helicopter, and it's just covered.
No, it's just a
Oh,
regular.
okay.
It's a regular helicopter, but she got it for a great price because you can go to joinhoney.com.
oh my god. No, but it actually does, like, the honeycopter does in fact run on honey. And
Wow.
the reason why she decided to come up with this invention is to save the bees. That's like the whole prerogative for it. And so
Yeah.
literally it's just fantastic. Like every single thing that she touches turns to gold. Like,
Yeah, she's so generous and like such a big heart. You know,
she gave me a Tesla last week. I don't know. I've
Really?
never
You
met
know her?
before. Now I have a Tesla.
Wow.
Thanks to Dr. Helicopter.
Thank you, Dr. Helicopter. Did you know Dr. Helicopter? You know, like children's hospitals. You know, they're doing
Yeah.
God's work. You know, she owns all of them,
She owns all of them.
and she's going in the red because of it. She's donating so much of her own helicopter money.
Yeah, so like the Rocketeer, though, personally, I can't recommend it more. It's on Disney Plus because it's a Disney property, obviously, so it's on Disney Plus. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's insane. Alan Arkin is in it. He's like the engineer, and love Alan Arkin in like all the roles that he does. He's great. If you watch Lost, the guy who plays Locke, he's in it, which is cool too, because like he's a great actor as well. He's a small role, but outside of that, it's like goofy fun. Like it takes itself a little seriously, which just makes it even more fun. But it's like great setting. The whole villain plot is, like we said, very weird, but
Yeah.
we're gonna mention that again. But yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but like strong recommendation for like just a fun movie to kind of like shut your brain off and like not process it as it's going through, because it
Yeah, for sure.
really, if you think about it too hard, it will ruin the experience
Yeah, I agree.
for sure.
I gotta say though, the one thing that ruined the movie for me, that stupid mask, that stupid fucking
Oh my
mask.
god, what?